Welcome back to the channel. The board is set, the pieces are moving, and Port Charles is standing on the edge of an absolute precipice. We are witnessing a seismic shift in momentum where every single character is suddenly cornered by impossible choices, and the fallout is going to be catastrophic. Let's dive right into the madness. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and the whole dynamic between Elizabeth and Willow right now is just fascinating. Like Elizabeth is sitting there behind this desk in the doctor's office at General Hospital, and it's such a deliberate power move. She's in the position of authority, physically and psychologically, and Willow is just standing there in front of her, looking completely cornered. Elizabeth challenges her, point blank, asking why she hasn't taken up the advanced communication aid. She looks Willow dead in the eye and asks, "You have to let Drew have a voice, or don't you want that? That line, it's weird. Like, really weird." The whole thing is just weird because Elizabeth has been suspicious for a while now, but this is her finally pulling the trigger on those suspicions. Wait, let me back up. We have to remember that Willow has been keeping Drew in this simulated locked-in syndrome state, dosing him with that paralytic she originally got from Jen Sidwell. She's legally married to Drew, she's completely divorced from Michael, and she currently holds all the cards regarding Drew's medical care. Elizabeth is a nurse, she pays attention to details, and she's been puzzled for weeks as to why a loving wife wouldn't want her husband to... Actually, no. First I should mention that Willow is secretly terrified. She knows that if Drew gets his voice back, her entire house of cards collapses. I mean, we the audience know that Drew is already building a tolerance to the drug and rapidly regaining his mobility and speech. But Elizabeth doesn't know that yet. Elizabeth just knows the optics look terrible. I mean, not exactly terrible, but kind of. She suspects Willow is intentionally silencing him, but she doesn't have the hard proof. Or maybe she does, and she's just playing a game of chess here. I don't know. But then again, that doesn't explain why Willow wouldn't just fake enthusiasm for the communication tools and sabotage them later. Maybe she's just cracking under the pressure. What was I saying? Oh right, the police station. Let's jump over to the PCPD, because the tension there is just as thick. Dante puts Chase to the test. And it is such a loaded moment. Okay, I know I just said the opposite earlier about Dante and Chase making progress, but hear me out. Anna Devane had offered to promote Chase, basically dangling his old detective job in front of him. She assigned him to find the lost evidence on the Ross Cullum shooting case. But then Dante fessed up. Okay, wait. Let's pause here, because the Cullum shooting is the absolute epicenter of the current Port Charles earthquake. Rocco Falconeri, Dante's own son, is the one who actually shot Ross Cullum on Spoon Island. Jason took the fall for it, ending up in a WSB black site because of it. Dante knows this. Laura knows this. And now, Dante has fessed up to Anna. Consequently, Anna decided it was best to close the case, but she still kept the promotion offer open for Chase. So now, Chase is standing there with Dante, at the PCPD, and Chase asks him, flat out, if this whole situation is a courtesy or a test. Obviously, it's a test, and Chase surely hopes he will pass it. But what does passing it even look like? Does it mean turning a blind eye to the corruption and the cover-ups? Does it mean proving his loyalty to Dante and Anna over the letter of the law? Chase has always been this Boy Scout cop, but he's been dragged through the mud so much lately. I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there where Chase started really questioning his own moral compass. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the way Chase looked at Dante in the scene. It was this mix of respect and deep, profound suspicion. He knows Dante is hiding something massive, even if he doesn't know all the details about Rocco yet. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh right, the WSB and the fallout from Spoon Island. Which brings me to Josslyn Jax. Josslyn is now fully healed and released from the hospital after that brutal gunshot wound she sustained on Spoon Island the very same day she took out Cullum with a rifle. Now she's back at the WSB office, and she is not playing games anymore. She is confronting her boss, Jack Brennan, with some serious questions. Josslyn marches in there and asks Brennan if he's trying to recover Cullum's secrets or trying to recover his own. Wow. Just wow. Josslyn has evolved so much. She's not just a college kid anymore. She's operating on this high-stakes intelligence level, and she is calling Brennan out on his own shadowy agenda. Jack looks annoyed, to say the least. And honestly, he should be. He may not have the answer Josslyn is looking for, because his own secrets are currently unraveling. Actually, let's talk about Brennan first. Brennan has bad news to deliver. But is it about the black box that Valentine Cassadine found at Windermere? Or is it about something else entirely? We know Valentine found that box, and we know Brennan and Nina have been desperately tearing Windermere apart looking for it, completely unaware that a mysterious gloved figure already stole it. If Brennan is delivering bad news to Josslyn, or to Nina, it means his leverage is gone. He faked a locked-in stroke, he manipulated the WSB, and now he is losing control of the narrative. It's basically a masterclass in how to lose a spy game. But then again, maybe the bad news is about Jason. Which reminds me, I need to talk about the hospital again. Let's swing back to General Hospital, because Lucas Jones and Britt Westbourne are having a major discussion. Lucas looks at Britt and tells her, point blank, that if she doesn't want to be there, she should just leave. Okay, I know that sounds harsh, but Lucas is also offering an apology. He's apologizing for how things were left at Bobby's the day she first met Tristan Roberts, and had that massive meltdown. Britt has been through absolute hell. She was gaslit with saline syringes, she was arrested for kidnapping in Tortola, she was held in WSB custody, and now she's back in Port Charles on probation at the hospital. It sounds like once again Britt is complaining about some of her added duties and her awful work schedule. In Lucas's opinion, and honestly, in the opinion of most people around her, she should be thankful they're giving her another chance at all. Britt is lashing out because she's hurting. She's trying to rebuild her life from scratch, and she feels completely entitled to her anger. I mean, not exactly entitled, but kind of. She feels like the universe owes her, and Lucas is giving her the tough love she desperately needs to hear. But the tragedy of Britt right now is that she is expecting Jason to be her saving grace, completely unaware of what is actually happening. Which brings me to the biggest, most earth-shattering part of all of this. Jason and Danny have returned home to Port Charles after their father's son. Jason is back. But he is not the same Jason. He has been fundamentally changed by the severe trauma he endured at that WSB black site. He is stepping away from the mob. He is officially quitting Sonny's organization. And most importantly, he is entirely focused on being a father to Danny. We have to remember the context here. Danny has been completely unmoored. Ever since Cyrus killed Sam, taking Danny's mother away from him, that kid has been carrying a suffocating layer of grief. Jason knows this. Jason knows that Danny needs a parent, a real parent, not a mob enforcer who might not come home at night. So Jason is making this massive life pivot. From the previous promos, we saw that Jason makes a trip to the hospital where he and Britt see each other. But it's not the romantic reunion Britt is hoping for. Jason is pulling away. He is ghosting her, emotionally and physically, to protect Danny from the chaos of his past life. It's heartbreaking. But wait, before he goes to the hospital, it's possible he drops Danny off at the Quartermain mansion first. Danny's not seen with Jason entering the double doors at GH, leading up to the nurse's desk, but Danny does look like he has some need of medical attention. Since he didn't attend to it the first day they got back, he'll probably do it now. Or maybe Jason is just going to GH to officially cut ties with Britt. My brain is jumping all over the place. Anyway, the real kicker happens at the Quartermain boathouse. Jason is on the dock, and he offers an olive branch. Danny is possibly somewhere close by, maybe inside the mansion, or just out of frame. Jason spots Drew sitting in his wheelchair next to the lake. The camera pushes in for a close-up, and we can partly see Scout Quartermain's face next. Jason walks up to his no longer identical twin brother and says, "It's time for a new chapter." Okay, let's just sit with that first. Jason, the man who has lived his entire life in the shadows of violence, is offering peace to Drew Kane. It sounds like he's genuinely trying to make peace with Drew for the sake of the greater good and for all their children. This is exactly what Danny and Jake Weber begged for before Drew disappeared, and all this madness started. Jason wants to iron things out. He wants to end the cycle of retaliation. But here is the absolute mind-bending irony of this. Jason is offering peace to a man who is currently plotting a war. Jason thinks Drew is still this helpless, locked-in victim of a stroke. He doesn't know that Drew is rapidly regaining his mobility and his speech. He doesn't know that Drew's first word was Willow, spoken with pure, unadulterated venom. Drew is sitting in that wheelchair, looking out at the lake, secretly planning to destroy the woman who has been. So Jason is extending an olive branch to a ticking time bomb. Will they be able to iron things out with each other for the sake of their children? I want to say yes, but this is Port Charles. Peace is just a deep breath you take before you start screaming again. Jason's attempt to turn over a new leaf might be the exact thing that puts him directly in the crossfire of Drew's impending revenge against Willow, Nina, and Brennan. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Jason is trying to be a good father to Danny, trying to honor Sam's memory by keeping their son safe, but he is walking right back into a family war zone. And Willow? She's panicking in a doctor's office with Elizabeth, completely unaware that her husband is sitting by the lake, listening to Jason talk about a new chapter, while secretly writing his own chapter of vengeance. Okay, I know I just said the opposite earlier about Jason being able to step away from the mob, but hear me out. You can leave the mob, but you can't leave your family. And the Quartermaine Kane family is more dangerous right now than any crime syndicate in the city. The juxtaposition of Jason seeking quiet fatherhood while Drew seeks explosive retribution is just brilliant narrative framing. I'm second-guessing myself constantly on how this plays out. If Drew takes the olive branch, does he use Jason as a weapon against Willow? Or does Jason figure out what Willow has been doing and step in to stop it, thereby proving to Drew that they can actually be brothers? Or maybe not. I don't know. My brain is moving faster than my typing at this point, and I just can't shake the feeling that this new chapter Jason is talking about is going to be written in blood. Will Jason's olive branch to Drew trigger the ultimate war, or is Port Charles finally finding peace? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned.